I know you're going to like this one. You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. As always, coming to you from our phenomenal studios. We have a phenomenal guest. He is on a roll. He is a football genius. He is defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. Coach, how you doing, sir?
Good. How we doing, Lap? Appreciate it.
Doing all right. Your football team, how tough is it to play a division opponent the last regular season game and then the very next week in the playoffs? How difficult is that?
It was a challenge. As you mentioned, the division rivals. That's what makes it that much more challenging. When you get a tough Baltimore team that came in and played hard as we both were gonna do, and it just it challenges you both mentally and physically. And it was a tough game. Fought hard by both teams, but we're glad we came out ahead.
Baltimore, they just ran, inside outside zone. The last regular season game, they didn't show their quarterback run package or anything that they were going to use in the playoffs. And of course, then here it comes with misdirection and all the things that they did with Huntley. And no shock. I mean, I'm assuming that certainly was what you anticipated, but it's always it's always difficult. They are so unconventional, aren't they? I think offensively and defensively, they're unconventional on both sides of the ball, but offensively in particular.
Well, they're tough. I mean, they do things that you don't see week in and week out in the NFL, and causes you to do different things. And they're challenging to say the least.
Mark Andrews, when he was trying to chase down Sam Hubbard, the guy hit 20 miles an hour. A 250 plus pound tight end. You had mentioned during the week that, hey, this guy runs go routes. He'll beat corners on go routes. I mean, you knew what the guy could do. His skill set, his size speed ratio is crazy.
Oh, it's unbelievable. He's a great player. We had him doubled on one of his catches, and he breaks free from that. And Jesse's kind of hanging all over him. He catches another one. One of them we were in zone, so we weren't really on him that he had to catch, but he's the reason why has what he does production wise.
Coach, in my mind, the football game here, two areas, turnovers. You were +1. You had 2 takeaways. It's the playoffs. Last year, you had 9 takeaways during the playoffs in 4 playoff games, averaging a little over 2 a game. You get 2 in this one, just like clockwork, man. You guys are taking that football away, and one of them is a 14-point play. I mean, you take a touchdown away from me and you score one. I mean, they left points on the field in the red zone, and that's the other part of it in my mind. 4 times in the red zone, 1 touchdown. 3 times in the low red zone, 1 touchdown. They left points everywhere in the red zone, low red zone, and then not only didn't score, gave up 7 when Sam took it the other way. That is phenomenal. So turnovers, red zone, and then third down. Man, you held them to, what was it, less than 30? Yeah, 27, little over 27% on third down. When you're good in those areas, you're going to win some football games, aren't you?
Yeah, that's a formula to win any game, but certainly playoff games, limited possessions, because they do that just by the nature of how they play the game. And so it'll be important this week up at Buffalo to, when we get those guys into the third down situations, get them in the red zone, that we force them to kick field goals. And it's been a successful formula for us in the past, and we'll count on it this weekend as well.
In the 7 minutes that was played in the Monday night game that ended with the tragedy, and the game canceled, not to be rescheduled. They moved the ball down the football field, got in the red zone, knowing you held them to a field goal, as the standard has been set. I mean, this football team is explosive. They finished second in the NFL in scoring. No real shocker there. When you look at the Buffalo Bills quarterback run game package and the Baltimore Ravens quarterback run game package, any similarities or totally different?
No, there's definitely some similarities. You're just always on high alert for it with the Ravens, and then the Bills do a great job of kind of just sprinkling it in along the way, so you don't necessarily know when it's coming. So, you got to play great pass defense on, guys like Stephon Diggs and the rest of their guys, and Davis and the tight end, and and then, oh, by the way, you got to worry about, Josh Allen running the ball. So we'll have our hands full, but our guys will be ready to go.
6 straight fourth quarters, you have a takeaway. I mean, when the game is on the line, when you're trying to finish a football game 6 times in a row in this, winning streak that you guys are enjoying, the last 6, a crucial takeaway. I mean, that's hard to do, coach. I mean, the obviously it's a mindset, it's a mentality. You guys work hard to do that, and I guess no surprise when it happens.
No, again, just keep grinding at it, keep working at it, and then again, our players being aware of, right, we want them all the time, but certainly in the most critical positions that, hey, we got to get the ball out here.
I during the course of the football game, in my mind, with the big play that Sam finalized, I mean, that was obviously great, but it wouldn't have happened if Jesse Bates doesn't disengage from a block, hustle his tail off, get a guy out at the 2-yard line. That hustle play was a 14-point tackle. And then, because then the goal line situation unfolds after that. And first and second down, do a great job. The 235-pound Edwards he's stood up by Von Bell and make a play. I mean, so many guys were involved in the ultimate play that Sam Hubbard will forever be remembered for. But team sport like that, a lot of guys delivered for you, didn't they?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. As you mentioned, Jesse getting down there and getting him on the ground, Vaughn standing in the back up and then waiting for the guys to come over, and then just the way the play played itself out. Just the guys counting on each other and standing up and being able to make the plays, which was terrific.
So the Buffalo Bills, they've had their turnover problems in the red zone. Josh Allen has 5 red zone interceptions. That leads the National Football League. He's had some turnover problems with respect to the fumbles as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys. It's all about the ball is a big mantra as you get ready for games. The way he has total disregard for his body makes him kind of vulnerable to turn it over a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's, again, as you mentioned, he's a very dangerous runner. He does expose the ball at times, as everybody's seen, but he's trying to make plays, and a lot of times he makes them, more times than coughing it up. But we'll be aware of it. We'll be aware of when the situations are that he likes to keep it, and hopefully get a chance at a couple of forced fumbles, and we get him.
Coach, when a guy has the arm talent that Josh Allen has, where he can deliver it to any quadrant of the field with authority, with zip and accuracy, how does that change your mentality in terms of game planning for? I mean, does the top down even come a higher top down? I mean, what do you have to do differently?
Yeah, I just think you're never deep enough against a guy like this. If he starts scrambling around, the longer he holds it, the deeper you get, kind of type of thing, because he can make it from anywhere on the field, make the throw, that is. So we're always preaching that, and it'd be important to keep him in the pocket and do a great job. But when he scrambles, we gotta make sure we do a good job of getting on our guys and covering them up, and don't let this guy hurt us in the run game.
Are they as good in the scramble drill when Josh Allen's running around? Now, he will tuck it and run, but he will keep his eyes down the football field as well.
Yeah.
In the quote scramble drill, do the Buffalo Bills do more in the quote scramble drill than most teams do? I mean, most teams it's like, deep comes short, short goes deep. Is Buffalo a little bit more sophisticated and intricate with what they do when Josh Allen's scrambling?
I just think that they're well aware of it, well in tune to where he is, and they just try to get themselves open no matter where they are. So
yeah,
they've done a great job of that. So they know they got to stay alive and stay active, and he's because he's hard to bring down. So they've made huge plays in that area.
And I don't know if you've done this sort of research. You got more things to worry about than this, but I was just curious in terms of Allen's rushing yards, what kind of percentage are design quarterback runs as opposed to him creating and extending and decided I'm going to tuck it and go now. I don't like what's going on down the field.
Well, he does great in both areas, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
a lot of the design runs are hard, and he does a great job there. But he's also scrambled for big gains too. So I think it's a combination of both. Even regardless of what the percentages are, you got to be aware of this guy in every snap that he could potentially take the ball the distance because he's big, strong, fast. He'll stiff arm you, he'll hurdle you, and it's a challenge for sure.
I mean, he's like they have what quarterback sweep, quarterback draw, quarterback counter. I mean, they've got it all, don't they?
They do. They really do. And it's, again, similar to last week, but there are some different, unique things that they do also. So, you know, antennas up for number 17 running the ball.
So last week you had, the quarterback running the football, Huntley running the football, but you had a couple of good running backs, Dobbins and Edwards. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch as well. Singletary, what do you think of the Buffalo Bills' actual running attack with running back and offensive line?
They do a good job. I mean, I think we heard this morning it's 15 straight games of 100 yards or more. I think is what
Really?
they're at. So they're consistent. Both backs are talented. Now they're using the returner 20 Hines some. So he's as fast as they get. So we got to be prepared for that. But they're well complemented back there. They're deep. They both backs can not only run it, catch the ball out of the backfield. So they're dangerous. They're a dangerous group. There's a reason why they're second in scoring and as high as they are statistically in all areas on offense.
There's only one Mark Andrews. There's not a whole lot of those walking around the streets these days in the country, but Knox is pretty good, isn't he? I mean, Knox is a more than serviceable tight end, right?
Yeah, he's a good he's a good football player.
Yeah,
and is talented and is tough. He does a good job blocking and gets himself open. The quarterback relies on him too, and you saw that catch he made last week. He's a talented guy for sure.
So I know, crowd noise becomes a big issue, obviously, when you go on the road for the offensive line and the offense with Bills Mafia. What challenges does it present for a defensive football team on the road going against this kind of an offensive football team? Is it just the juice that Bills Mafia gives that football team, being home and, there's adrenaline coursing through their veins, maybe even more?
Yeah, I think so. It's a great environment up there. Fans are terrific. As I said yesterday, these guys, our fans were terrific the other night. This place will be wild, I'm sure. And, it is a little bit of a little easier for us just because it's quiet on defense when we're on the road. So we can communicate even better. Whereas when we're at home, it's loud and you really can't hear each other. So that plays not, a little bit better towards us from a communication standpoint.
The one thing that I anticipate is that obviously these were the two football teams that were competing on Monday Night Football when Damar Hamlin had the tragic event occur, and it would not surprise me. They were talking about him coming to the game last week against the Miami Dolphins in the wild card round. Would not shock me in this division round that Damar Hamlin might feel better and good enough to come to the game. And if they bring him out in a golf cart, say, for example, down the tunnel and to midfield, and he acknowledges everybody, or from a suite, and he's on a big jumbotron and he acknowledges everybody, that would be quite a moment. And Bills Mafia would be off the hook. I mean, that would sound like a rocket taking off, man. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, the fact, first and foremost, the fact that he would be able to come to the game and would be great, obviously for him and his family. But yeah, if he's there, it's going to be nuts to begin with, and then that'll just ratchet it up a little bit more.
No doubt about it. And let me get you out of here on this, Coach. Is it as simple as the ball? It's all about the ball. Is it that simple? Is it turnovers, red zone? Is it simple as those two things? Does it go deeper than that? Where's your head at, Coach, for keys to the game?
Oh man, again, just limit the points, as we always say.
Yeah.
Be smart in situational football. And then when the opportunities present themselves to take the ball away, we have to, and their backs have put the ball on the ground some. Josh has done that as well. And that'll be, when you're playing a great offense, taking opportunities away from him is really, really important.
All right. So I was trying to do a quick count. I think with that playoff game last week, holding them to 17, I think it's 7 times this year held the opponent to 17 points or less, Coach? And I know one of them is 18. A bunch of times you've been 20 or under. I mean, it's well into the double digits there. But to hold a team to 17 or less 7 times in a single NFL season, that's consistently excellent, Coach.
I appreciate it. Again, I so love this group that we have, and let's keep rolling. Let's play some more games.
I hear that, Coach, because we love to visit with you. And
Thanks, bud.
Victories mean a podcast on Victory Tuesday with Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, and there's nothing better than that, Coach. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Lap. Thanks again.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right. You know,
gotta get that body right. That's right. Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.